What an incredibly sad day in the racing community after the loss of Kyle Busch, 41 years old, got sick a couple of days, and now he's gone. His wife Samantha, two beautiful children. Brexton just starting out in his racing career, really, his son. I can't even imagine the pain that family is going through. And everybody is mourning in their own way, and something happens in NASCAR. It definitely feels like losing a family member. I've been a NASCAR fan since the first day I landed in the United States in 1980. I remember my first time at Daytona Speedway. My uncle took me there, and boy, back then you could walk around pit road, you could walk right onto the track. I remember all the greats: Dale Earnhardt, Bobby Allison, Donnie Allison, Alan Kulwicki, you name it, all those guys. And they're part of my life. As a kid in Ireland, I grew up around dirt racing, and I raced a couple of times myself, even at 12 years old. My older brothers had race cars. We raced at a field. They called it The Rock. But if you love cars, you love racing, you love every racer. I know this is a Tesla channel, but I probably wouldn't like Tesla unless I had come up through racing. I'm a fan of cars, period. And I don't have a personal story about Kyle. Kyle and I weren't friends. I met him once. I met a lot of drivers. I met a lot of NASCAR people. I met many of them. I'm not an autograph guy. I'm not a selfie guy. I remember the first time I met Richard Petty. I actually did a half marathon in North Carolina, Randleman, North Carolina, and it was for the Victory Junction Gang Camp. That's the camp that was set up after the death of the very young Adam Petty. But anyway, I met Richard. We were in an auditorium, and there was a big crowd, and everybody they had their Sharpie out there trying to get a picture, trying to get an autograph, and I just remember reaching over the crowd, and I kind of reached my hand high over everybody, and he caught me, and I said, I just want to shake the hand of the king. And he looked up and he said, thank you very much. And I shook his hand. There's no picture, there's no autograph. I don't care about that stuff. But I had the great fortune to get involved with Germain Racing. That's a story for another video. But for a couple of years there, I had what's known as a hard card. So basically, I did some charity work thanks to a buddy of mine, Hector, Mike Williams. We got involved with Bob Germain, and I did some fundraising for the Gracie Foundation. Bob had lost his wife. But anyway, that's another story. The reason I bring that up is because I had this hard card. You're a team member if you have a hard card in racing, in NASCAR. So I had full access. We donated our time, we donated some food, and we made some money, but it allowed me to rub shoulders and walk around the pits anytime I wanted. But I remember Kyle, I remember Dover in particular. We were at Dover one year, probably 2019, 2020. He was still driving the M&M's car back then, and I remember during the race, I went to, and he was on fire back. He's always been on fire, but he was really, really hot back then. And when you come out of turn 2 at Dover, the car comes, it goes low. They go in low into turn 2, and then when they come out of turn 2, they go up the track, and the car kind of fishtails a little bit, and it's so close to the wall, it's almost hitting the wall. And I was standing in turn 2. There's a bridge. It's like a walkover bridge, and you can stand up there. You're not supposed to, but because they keep moving you on, you're not supposed to stand there. But I was standing up there. It's an enclosed bridge, and I watched Kyle come out of turn two for, I don't know, the longest time. And he, when he came out of turn two, he was that much closer to the wall than everybody else. He won the race that day, if I'm not mistaken. I think he won the race that day. I don't remember. Before the race, I mean, he was on the edge. He was farther out on the edge than everybody else. And that's what it takes to be a race car driver. But I remember at one point before the race, the guys they would go in and out of the driver's meeting and the media center. And I was standing there. And I remember him walking towards us. My friend Dustin Ruther was there with me. We had some good friends there. Hector was there, Mike Williams, Frankie. And I'll never forget. I saw him walk towards us and I looked into his eyes. And I can only describe a person who was laser focused on what he was about to do. I can't describe what I saw in his eyes, but nothing in the world in that moment was going to distract him. Nothing. He was so laser focused, not intensely. It was almost like he was in a trance. And then, obviously the race started and I watched him the entire race and I thought, that's why he's good. He's that freaking good. It's so sad that he's gone. It's such a loss, obviously, to the people he loved. They're not thinking about racing right now or the 200 and something races he has already won and his career and his wins and his burnouts in victory lane. They're not thinking about any of that. The husband is gone. The father is gone, worse. We've been through this many times. We lost Dale Earnhardt, lost Greg Biffle, we lost many. Too many, unfortunately, to name. Many of them, oh my God, my cat is wrecking my house. Many of them not in racing incidents. I mean, Kyle, I don't know what happened to Kyle. I'm not going to speculate, but he got really sick. And in 24 hours or 36 hours later, he was gone. A friend of ours who is involved with that team over at Richard Childress, he sent us a message yesterday that they had been Kyle had been doing some simulator runs the day before yesterday, I believe it was, and they said he got out of the car, or got out of the simulator, and he felt really weak. He looked very pale, and he left in an ambulance. That was the last time they seen him. It's devastating. Devastating for that, obviously, the family. Devastating for the team. Devastating for the sport. And devastating to those of us who are just race fans. It's a family. Maybe that's why I love the Tesla family so much, because, we go to these Tesla events and I've made some amazing friends in that community, and they're beautiful people. They really are beautiful, good, kind-hearted people, just like at NASCAR races. Of course, we have this rivalry going on between the combustion engine guys and the electric guys, but we all have the same love for our vehicles, and we all have the same love for sports and love for competition. The 0-60 in 4 seconds or whatever in the Tesla is just the same as watching a great race car driver beat somebody to the line in split seconds. It's really sad. It's really, really sad. I also think of all the people I went to all the races with. Dustin, Bobby, Fuda, Doc, Fitzy. Even some of those guys are gone now. Life is short, man. Life is short, really short. I have somebody very close to me who's suffering right now from cancer. Anyway, I just wanted to do this little tribute video to Kyle, and I sure hope he's in heaven. I know he is. And I know that good will come out of this. I presume Samantha will do great things. Brexton, of course, his son, will do great things. And I sure would love to. I'd love to be alive when Brexton maybe wins the Daytona 500. Just like we watched Dale Jr. win the Pepsi 400 the same year that his father died. Excuse me, I'm getting a little emotional here, but these are good people. These are really, really good people, hardworking people. Anyway, this is a very unusual video for me, but sometimes, you go on Facebook or some of these other channels, and outside of X, everything seems to be very fake and very false and sensationalized. And people are trying to capitalize now on the death of Kyle Busch, putting out false videos, false information. Traditional media have stories out today, new details on what happened to Kyle Busch. I watched a couple of them. There is no new details. Nobody knows. They don't know. They're just regurgitating yesterday's news, just like they do with Tesla. And I'm sure some of them, give them a week, they'll be ripping Kyle Busch apart, or they'll be ripping his wife apart. That's what they do. So rather than me put a post on Facebook or on TikTok or somewhere else, I figured I'd tell the truth from my heart. God bless Kyle. Rest in peace, man. Thanks for being so great at what you did. You inspire all of us. Thanks for watching.